A common question is can you use multiple effects on a clip? And the answer is yes. The easiest way that I find to manage the effects that are attached to a video clip is to right-click on the clip that you're interested in applying the effect to, and then choosing Video Effects. And you get this nice menu here which lets you add and remove effects. So right now I have my blur effect, and let's say I can also add a film grain effect. And notice that I can choose an effect over here on the displayed effects, and I can move it up or down in the queue. Now, by moving it up or down, this acts basically as a layer of which the effect is added. And so you'll get different effects by moving your layers around. If the blur is on top, you get one effect. If the grain's on top, you get another effect. To remove an effect, you just click on the effect in the displayed effects and click remove. And I'm just going to take those away now and click OK. Now I know the effect's been removed because I don't see the star on the clip anymore. A very common effect to use in Movie Maker in the way that you do a fade in and fade out is to use this fade in from black effect. So I'm just going to drop that right on my first clip. And I'm going to fade out to black right here on my last clip, and that'll just give me the fade in, fade out. Let's just watch the end right here. Now I had a fade out right there. Faded right to black. So you can utilize the video effects, you can layer them on top of each other and utilize those across the clips in your timeline. What I haven't addressed are importing still images. You import still images in the same way that you do video, just by clicking import and browsing, and then they will be added to your collection, and you can just drag them right down into your video timeline. In much the same way, you can increase and decrease the time of a clip by dragging it and either expanding or collapsing it. You can also do that with a still image. So if you would like to have your still image, I think it comes in with a default of 5 seconds. If you would like to have your image less than 5 seconds, you could split it, put a split and delete part of it, or you could just collapse it down, dragging it. If you want to make it longer, just pull it out longer than that 5 seconds. And so by pulling video clips and images, you can get different visuals on this video track, and by dragging and using the split feature, you can determine the length that they'll play. Now the last thing I want to discuss before we talk about finishing and exporting our movie out is putting titles on your movie. So if I click the Make Titles or Credits, I get a couple of different title choices. A title at the beginning of the movie. If I click on this, I will call this Intro Title. And I will click Done, add this to movie once I'm ready. Now note that I can come down here. Let's say I'm going to click the change the text and font color. I'm going to have the background color be black actually. I'm going to click OK. And it changes it there for me. And once I feel good, I can click Done. Notice that you can change your text right here. So I'm going to click Done, add this title to the movie. And notice that what happened with an intro title is that it applied it directly to the video track itself. So now when I play the movie, I get my intro title, and it drops straight into my movie. Now I point that out because, and here I'll pull this audio just to make it a little longer to fit. Or excuse me, I'll grab it and move it so it fits my movie. I can also make a title that overlays my video. Notice I could put the title at the beginning of the movie. You can also put it before a selected clip. It'll work the same way and drop it right into video timeline. But when you put the title on the selected clip, and I'll put this title right over here on this projector one. I'll click Title on Selected Clip. I'll I'll put in my text. Once again, I could change the animation or the font size, color, etc. But I'm just going to click Done, add this to my movie. And what happens here is I get my title down here in this title overlay track, and I'm going to pull on it just to make it a little longer. So it can be expanded and collapsed by pulling on the ends, just like still images or video clips. And now when I play, the effect is I get the title over the project in the timeline. So it handles titles in two different ways. You either get the title directly on the track itself, and then all you get is the title, or you can do a title overlay, and the title will be put right over the top of your film. So utilizing effects and titles, you could do some interesting things. Specifically in instructional video, you can use that to outline the video project and to give your viewer some advance notification of what the section is going to cover. Once you feel confident with your video project, I would click Save. I hope you do too. We want to finish the movie. Now, Windows Movie Maker, specifically in this version of XP, which is quite old, I think it's getting to be 11, 10 years old now. We don't have quite as many options as we do with some of the more current video editors, but we still have some pretty good options here. There are some templates: save to CD, send in an email, send to the web, send to DV camera. What that'll do is find your camera, and you can hit play and then record onto your camera, which is a nice option to be able to back up your project directly on tape. But the one we're interested in for the assignment is save to my computer. So I'm going to click Save to my computer, and we get this wizard. Now enter in a name for your movie, and you can also find out where you want to export that to. And right now it's set up to just export directly to my desktop. That'll be fine. I click Next. Now it wants to give you as few options as possible to keep you from getting confused. And so it says the best quality playback for my computer. And what it wants to do is give you a frame size of 720 by 480 pixels, which is actually pretty good. Specifically, that's more for online use rather than to be used in a television environment. But if it's online, 720 by 480 is quite good with an aspect ratio of 4 by 3. It's going to export your movie as a WMV, Windows Media Video, which is fine. Windows WMVs play in most browsers. There are some more choices. You can click here and see. You can try to fit it to a specific file size. I don't recommend that. There are some other choices. And these templates here, I have to admit, are quite old. They're 10 years old. We've come quite a bit of ways in internet connectivity and bandwidth speed. So I find that most of these are quite outdated. Now, this high quality NTSC, this is, and also this DVAVI NTSC. These are going to be, these are going to be a little higher quality. Note that now you're shooting it out as an AVI, and they're going to look a little better if you're going to look at it in a television environment. But for this assignment, if you like, you can just click the best quality for playback on my computer. And note that it's going to take 13 megabytes, which is not so large. And I'm going to click Next. And it's going to save my movie. Now, this will probably take some time. Once you're done, you get this notification saying that you've completed saving your movie. If you want it to play when you click Finish, you can leave that checked. I don't want it to play right now. So I'm going to click Finish. And that's it. Now we have created our .wmv Windows Media Video file using Windows Movie Maker. Movie Maker is always a great option if you're utilizing an older XP-based operating system. But if you have a newer operating system, I do recommend updating and checking out the newer Movie Maker. But I think that's it for this tutorial, and thanks.